This is the most terrifying campground story I have ever heard. It comes from a Reddit user. In the early 90s, I was working as a Firewatch tower operator in a remote part of the Oregon forest. My job was to sit in a fire tower and look out for forest fires and smoke. I had a radio to contact the Forest Service and report any fires I saw. I also had a logbook where I recorded the date and time of every fire I saw, along with its location and size. One evening, around midnight, I was awoken in my tower by what sounded like screams in the forest. Big guttural screams. Obviously, I was freaked out sitting in the tower by myself, listening to these screams. Then I heard what sounded like hail for about 10 minutes, followed by heavy footsteps near the tower. I grabbed my radio and was about to call it in when the screams stopped and I heard what sounded like voices moving through the trees. I started to feel a presence outside the tower, as if something or someone was near the tower watching it. I decided to lock the door to the tower and keep watch while listening to the radio. About an hour went by and I started to calm down a little. Then I heard what sounded like voices again, this time chanting. I didn't understand the words they were saying, but it sounded like an old Native American chant. I tried to make contact on the radio, but nobody was responding. I was getting really scared at this point. Then the chanting stopped and I heard what sounded like hail. Again, when I looked out the window, I saw what looked like hundreds of little pebbles being thrown at the tower. I watched in amazement as the pebbles hit the tower and bounced off the metal siding. Then I saw what looked like 3 figures moving between the trees. Moving from the direction of the road about 50 yards away, I tried to get their attention by waving my flashlight, but they didn't seem to notice me. They were too busy chanting and throwing pebbles at the tower. After about 20 minutes, they disappeared into the trees. I never saw them again. In the morning after, of course, not sleeping at all, I climbed down the tower and went to check on my food supplies. Everything was there, untouched. My MREs, my water, my rifle. All I left was the logbook. I opened it up and looked through it. The only other entry was from the previous day. It read, "Figures moving in the trees, possible hikers, will investigate in the morning." I never saw those figures again, nor did anyone ever find them. The tower was equipped with a phone line, and the door was locked from the inside. The only way out was to climb down the tower's fire escape. Yet somehow, in the morning, my food was untouched and the door was locked. To this day, no one knows what happened to me or those figures in the trees. That is terrifying. I would never work that job. I think I'd quit the next day. Let's hope we never find those figures in the trees. That story gets better. The original poster updated the story years later. He said that sometimes at night, he still hears the chanting.